Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to WCG 2019 Xi'an. This is the Hearthstone stage on the main stage where we belong. Of course, I am Atlas. This is Naviute. Back for our second series of the day. Fluourine is once again going to be back at it, and this time it is a Mage Mirror as TechnoGoose is on the other side.
Yeah, the Mage Mirror, one of the more popular matchups we've seen in recent weeks. The most popular deck of the format in the eyes of a lot of players.
Especially Europe, right? I feel like Europe plays a hell of a lot of Mage.
Yeah, you see Europe really enjoy the Mage. North America, more a fan of the Bomb Warrior, and then APAC is honestly just all over the place, so you never know what you're going to get.
Yeah, a lot of Mech Hunter. Yeah. That's what I've seen.
For who knows why.
Yeah, I don't know. That was the qualifier, and we actually saw some really exciting matchups there. However, this is a really weird matchup, and both of these players have very similar initial decks, but looking over at TechnoGoose, he does not have the Mage tech, which is things like the Questing Adventurer, things like that. And how much is that actually going to influence this matchup?
Yeah, so TechnoGoose opting for the Mage board, and my mistake, fluourine opting for the Mage board, and yeah, it's honestly a really big deal. The Questings can they fit really well, they synergize well with all the cheap spells you're trying to play alongside Sorcerer Apprentice, so they can grow to threats that potentially end the game really early on, and then Snap Free is obviously a great way just to deal with a giant that comes down naked, I guess, and doesn't get conjured. Yeah,
and there's also the fact that Questing Adventurer is not a target that you necessarily want to be Conjurer's Calling, and it means that there is another target that has to be removed on the board, and therefore you can go through your opponent's removal a little bit more effectively.
Yeah, and it's something that's really lacking from the Mage in this matchup, that spot removal. So yeah, Questings can be problematic.
And when you're freezing everything all the time, you're not silencing things all the time. So the Questing, even though it gets frozen, comes back and does double the damage the next turn anyway. Has to be dealt with.
Yeah, it's honestly something you see a lot, kind of just freezing boards back and forth. It creates very interesting board states. Players have to be mindful of their own board space, since you can't really interact on your turn. Everything's frozen, so you're trying to keep your board kind of open so that you have options, but also not trying to go too wide, keeping Xi'an in mind. There's a lot to think about.
Yeah, it's weird, and given the fact that it's a mirror, I think it's going to be a lot about who has the heart of the cards on their side. Of course, TechnoGoose was able to qualify via the Athens qualifier, and certainly did fantastically well there. In fact, qualified first place, and Fluourine having a great time in the APAC qualifier as well, but having some rough games in the last two against Reconnect. Really does need to do a bit of a mental rejig moving into this mirror, because this is where things can get really crazy.
Yeah, I was kind of impressed by most of his play. I think he started playing a little bit too defensively towards the end when you're trying to be proactive in the Bomb Warrior versus Mage matchup. But yeah, in this matchup, I guess the mirror, you're going to see a lot of unconventional plays, I guess, just really fighting for tempo as hard as you can. So playing Apprentice on 2, Banana Buffoon on 3, not really trying to hold for that early giant.
Right. So not wanting to play as greedy as you would otherwise, but here we are into the game. Game number 1. Fluourine versus TechnoGoose here on the main stage of WCG 2019 Xi'an. This is the second last day. Second last day when it comes to Hearthstone. Third last day when it comes to WCG. In general, we are going to be having the final tomorrow. Both of these players vying for a spot in that one. Double Arcane Intellect in the hand of Fluourine after that mulligan. Not so lucky on the side of TechnoGoose, who's got a lot of big stuff that doesn't necessarily want to be in the hand this early on.
Yep, and both players keeping Banana Buffoon, the obvious synergy that bananas give you alongside Apprentice or Mana Cyclone. So yeah, pretty straightforward keep.
And also just beefing up the hand size as well.
Absolutely, and Fluourine picking up Stargazer Luna, perhaps some would say probably the most important card in this matchup. An early Stargazer Luna just can run away with the game.
Well, Snip Snap not actually going to offer anything here for TechnoGoose. Good card, of course, can play it next turn in theory. But Fire Blast comes in, and the coin also over to Fluourine. So as far as advantages are concerned, this is definitely a big one. And of course, game number 1 is really important here for TechnoGoose. He has to win this, because this is going to be the best possible form of this matchup that he has available to him. And unfortunately, didn't get the coin for it.
Exactly, yeah. It's going to be really difficult to take a game against Fluorine's board. And we see Fluourine point out the Stargazer Luna, and yep, TechnoGoose shook his head at that in absolute disgust, because that is the one card he does not want to see right now.
See what he draws, see whether he can actually get some Stargazer Luna value from this one.
And Ray of Frost coming into the hand.
Oh my goodness.
Very happy to see that.
Yeah, that's just free draw.
Behold the tools of creation.
I'm so over hearing that.
How triggered are you right now?
I'm seriously so over it.
Oh, God. Well, we'll see whether we double Rare Frost here. I highly doubt it.
I don't think we'll see that. Maybe just the images. I honestly, you don't even need the images. You could just.
I think you can just ping it, yeah. You can ping the Snip Snap as well, and then go for a potential clear next turn.
Yep.
You want to. At the moment, I mean, Fluorine's in just a great position, even after just freezing this card, right? Not too much of a big deal. I'd probably go for the ping if it was me.
Yep, just be murdered.
Yep. See what he decides to do, Fluorine. I think is continuing to readjust his mental.
Yep, we saw these slow stars coming up in last game, so...
Yeah, I think it's actually, it's really great that he has taken the time just to make sure that he gets himself sorted. Now, moving into gamer position, as you can see, top left of your screen, Fluorine well leaned ahead.
Yep, leaning in.
Yeah. He was relaxed before, but now gamer position has been assumed. We are really playing.
TechnoGoose just firing off the Magic Trick, looking for a way to deal with the Stargazer Luna.
Yeah, Icicle in hand, not going to be really offering too much.
All of these cards,
project,
honestly, not the worst.
I mean, none of it lets you kill the Stargazer Luna is the problem, but Research Project does come into the hand. A couple of bananas here as well.
I think Research Project is probably the card with the highest ceiling in that spot, so I don't mind taking it there. Kind of a double-edged sword though, obviously, giving your opponent cards, but that could be honestly problematic for Fluorine with his hand kind of filling up right now, and Stargazer Luna meaning that that's going to continue.
Yep. Okay. What are we going to see here from Fluorine though? A little bit awkward this turn. Not a lot of great options necessarily, and it's not. He's not going to be playing that Sea Giant for any Stargazer value.
No.
Bananas though can come in for an extra draw. If he wants it.
Yep. I think. Yeah, it's there. Yeah, I really like him just taking his time on this turn. I kind of want to play the images just to try and maybe set up for a potential Sea Giant and protect your Luna, but.
Or you could buff up the Luna to a 3/5, clear the other Banana Buffoon.
Yep.
Could be a possibility here as well. Does mean that the Luna will die next turn.
Tools of creation.
But has already got a lot of value.
I think that Luna's already done this job here, and yeah. Seeing that, he kind of accepts that he's pretty happy for it to be traded away here. And just obviously go Banana Buffoon trade.
Ziliax feels pretty good here also.
Yeah, the Ziliax pickup is nice. It's unfortunate because you do want to play Luna's Pocket on curve, but...
But trading in the Snip Snap and then attaching Ziliax to one of the bots that comes out of it is a pretty clean answer to this board. But Pocket Galaxy comes in and Luna will survive for an extra turn.
Yeah, interesting.
A little bit greedy,
maybe
what it feels like.
Yeah, maybe thinking that he's behind and playing Pocket Galaxy right now is a way for him to get back in this game, especially with Arcane like and Research Project sitting in hand. Potentially some really powerful turns coming up. And, I mean... Fluorine's previous turn with Luna on board wasn't as insane as, you know, some Stargazer turns can be, so maybe having to read that this Luna isn't actually as much of a threat as what I thought it was.
Well, Fluorine now looking at his gigantic hand with two pretty dead Arcane Intellects all the way over to the left.
You do not want to see those right now.
Having said, he can feel free to go through his hand a little bit, throw out some of these resources that he does have available to him that he's not necessarily going to be utilizing. He does have his own Ziliax here in hand, but I don't know, representing another 3/2 on board that's going to clear a 1/1 is just not exactly what you want to be seeing here, so...
Yeah, I
mean, what is the play?
I think Ziliax is most likely the play we're going to see. It's the most mana efficient play. Ziliax is a little bit clunky right now, and it's a decent Conjurer's target next turn alongside Kaga and... Interesting. It looks like he's going to go for the images and then throw down the Sea Giant as well. He does open himself up to his opponent playing Giants as well, but maybe he really just wants to, like, seeing the Lunas, he thinks, okay, I need to maybe close this game out as soon as possible because my opponent has some very powerful turns coming up.
Yep. Putting the pressure on here, TechnoGoose. Not going to have too many options. He's going to get a Conjurer's Calling of his own here. And doesn't have too many options here as far as using that. Ziliax needs to come down if he really wants to have anything at this mana, and last I checked, Conjurer's Calling was 3 mana, not 1.
Yeah, I mean, with the play he made last turn, I'm very happy to see this AI come down now because he is looking for a Giant to conjure.
Yeah, and also now having, of course, the Pocket Galaxy go off. Stargazer Luna comes out, and it's not exactly the target that you really want to see for that. Couple of bananas in hand, I mean, but he's only going to be clearing off images with that, and even now you don't want to be clearing these images.
Yeah, honestly, he's hasn't seen any of his 4 giants, so really, really unfortunate at that perspective, but...
Is there ever a time where you play Lunar and Elemental Evocation here? Just to cycle? Like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, perhaps. One thing that is available to him is conjuring an opponent's 2-drop to try and roll for Doomsday, but that is honestly just like a last resort play, and I don't think he needs to do that right now.
Fireblast looking like he's lining these minions up for a potential, I mean, Defile would be my initial thought. However, it would help if he drew something like a Blizzard. I don't know whether he's actually got any in his deck, but he can, of course, pick up some random ones.
Yeah, I mean, the play fluourine made last turn obviously filled his board, so he figures that even though he doesn't have any powerful plays this turn, he can just leave his opponent like kind of blocked out on board and not develop any more power. And I guess he's just going to have to accept a lot of damage this turn and hope for something next turn.
Now, these are... Running those bots into the mirror images is an odd one, right? Because now it's in ping range, so that fluourine can ping his own unit to open up board space.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit strange, but I think that if you're making fluourine spend 2 mana to do that, it's not the worst thing in the world.
Oh, okay, it's like he's going to come in. Fluorine's got about the fullest hand that you can possibly have.
Runs out on me.
Mountain Giant is going to be here. As, see where we decide to go. Banana going to be utilized. Yeah. Ping's coming in. And it's going to go to face. And this Giant is going to be connecting. 10 health now on TechnoGoose, and a lot of pressure represented on this board. Khadgar is the draw.
Yep.
It's not the one that he necessarily wants.
I like this. Really fast play, just to give him as much time as possible later on.
Yep. 5 mana now. I mean, Mirror Images is going to help him survive, but as you can see, I mean, he's not going to be killing off these little bots. That becomes a little bit rough here.
Yeah, Research Project probably going to have to come down from TechnoGoose here.
Okay, Mirror Image just for 3.
Yeah, this is really interesting to me, because now even if he does pick up a threat, he can't play it.
Behold the
Ray of Frost. I mean, he
tools
can
of
play it,
creation.
but he's not going to get any extra value out of it, right?
No.
Honoring his own mirror image, allowing it to attack.
Time runs out
I'm not sure how much exactly he really wants to attack in this situation, though. Giving Fluourine more space to work with is something that I don't think he wants to do right now.
Oh, we're beholding the tools of creation a lot, Navi. That's what we're doing.
Yeah, there's lots of things going around right now.
Yeah, we're equalizing the value that either of these Lunas have actually picked up.
Pretty interesting hold of Ray of Frost there. I think I would maybe rather dump an Elemental Invocation and hold the Ray of Frost. Ray of Frost is really, really valuable at the moment, I think, so.
Yeah, yeah. Especially given the board states. Both of these Khadgars feel pretty comfy behind their mirror images.
Yeah.
As our Frost Nova Ray of Frost is a way of dealing with said Khadgar. If we want to see that removal option, of course, it is going to be a big investment.
It definitely is a big investment, just for a Khadgar.
Yeah.
I mean, I say just for a Khadgar, but Khadgar still obviously represents a significant threat alongside a Giant and a Conjurers.
Yeah. I feel like removing the ability to have that extra tempo availability is certainly a good thing. That being said, I mean, like you say, it is a lot to be invested in when you're using a Frost Nova on a board that doesn't have any Giants on it.
Yeah, so, I mean, like,
real bad.
Both players really, really kind of really off the state right now. They're super wary of clearing their respective boards. They only want to do it on a turn that they themselves can develop enough threats to close the game out, because if you do it prematurely, it's going to give your opponent the initiative to develop a board of their own and run away with the game. So it's really, really touch and go right now.
Well, double Ray of Frost comes down. We've got a ping to face, 9 health. For TechnoGoose. Still sitting on Ziliax in hand as the Mountain Giant does eventually come down. Mana Cyclone is going to be the pick up here off the Mountain Giant.
And this looks like it might be the turn where he tries to trade away a bunch of his minions here and then go for the Conjurers on the Mountain Giant.
It's pretty high value Arcane Missiles there.
Yeah, that was great. It's going to allow him to trade off these Microbots for the extra board space. And here was, I guess, what I was talking about with maybe holding that Ray of Frost, because it would allow you just to ignore this Xi'an completely.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to have to anyway, but Ray of Frost in the Xi'an would have been very nice here.
And is this ping? Yeah, I was thinking this. Ping so you can get rid of your microbots,
Yep.
open up board space. Oh, he's deciding not to. He wants to be able to clear this whole board. I thought he might have just ran both of the microbots into the Khadgar, but he's valuing the Luna higher than Khadgar at the moment. And a Cyclone is going to come in. He's going to refill his hand here.
Yep.
Behold,
Conjurer's Calling is going to be utilized. So, seeing the Mountain Giant come down. All right, Shooting Star going to come in just to clear out the hand.
TechnoGoose shaking his head there. Definitely, I mean, some small things here and there could have been done a bit better, but I think that overall you have to be reasonably happy with that turn.
Now what is the response? Na'Vi, what is going to be coming in here on Fluorine's side? You can see he's sitting back in his chair, trying to work out what the optimal play is. Does have a lot of tools in hand.
Yeah, so Fluorine, I mean, unless he cross Novas here, he's going to be taking quite a lot of damage. So I really, really think we're going to see the Nova come down, and then maybe alongside that, the Mountain Giant and the Conjurers, obviously in different orders. So the Giant first. Oh, he's only at 8 mana. I thought he was at 9. My mistake. Okay.
Damn.
That does make things a little bit awkward.
I wonder.
Yeah, can't Conjurers, Frost Nova, and Mountain Giant, as you just alluded to.
So I guess an option here, Nova. I think we have to Nova this turn. It's very close though.
I mean, he does have 28 health.
Yeah, he's
so
got a little
he
bit
can
of room to
soak
work
this
with.
board once. Not twice though.
Does have the option to clear the Lunar if he does Nova. I think. Snip Snap is definitely not what I was looking at here.
Yeah. He is going to run one Snip Snap.
Very interesting.
Yeah. Ping's face though gets it into Sea Giant kill range.
I'm not sold on this play at all. Yeah, interesting. His opponent being so low.
I'm like checking the deck list. I'm like, is he waiting to top deck a Flame Strike and kill him?
It doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like it at all, Max.
Yeah. I mean, that would be a play.
It would.
Yeah. Probably one of the best ones, if you could make sure that that happens. Well, we are going to see which one of these options we're going to take. Conjurer's Calling does certainly stand out. Not going to be able to offer us too much right here.
Yeah, unfortunately not.
Intellect
TechnoGoose being at 8, he might feel like he's forced to throw down the Frost Nova here. Splitting Image, just a little bit of mind games with the secrets, I guess, is fine.
I mean, can't do anything else, right? It's just
Yeah, and
other options.
it won't proc on the first hit,
Behold,
obviously,
the
so
tools of creation.
might confuse Fluorine a little bit. But yeah, an extra Mirror Images I think is fine.
Well, the Frost Nova does come out. I thought maybe you wouldn't bother with it, understanding that clearing out 3 of these taunt minions with 2 minions is going to be a little bit difficult. But Archmage Antonidas comes out, and that's going to start threatening
like this
lethal. And if you can get 2 fireballs, and this is just really bad news. Don't know what TechnoGoose is actually going to be able to offer here as the Ray of Frost's on top of it.
Yep.
Going to be able to deny it. Yeah, exactly right. Oh my goodness. Actually going to go for the greedy play. Leaves that Mountain Giant without freezing it. And even puts a Polymorph into his hand.
Yeah, and Fluorine just sits back in his chair, very happy with his work.
I mean, he was winning for most of this game, right? It was only the last few turns where TechnoGoose seemed like he was able to claw back some sort of advantage, but with all of the extra value that Fluorine had already generated earlier on in this matchup, I think that's what's carrying him through here.
Yeah, the turn 5, where he kind of went Khadgar and Mirror Image and Sea Giant, like, on the surface it doesn't look like a super impressive Khadgar play, but it allowed the Sea Giant to connect twice, and that's what's giving him this lethal out right now.
Well, Fluorine, in any other game, would have been pretty upset that he just burnt his Mountain Giant, but not going to be too worried about it right here.
Yeah, so Fluorine knows that, TechnoGoose knows that he's kind of dead in hand right now, so he's just needing a way to generate a random spell, just to try and maybe block one of these fireballs.
Yeah.
Play out counterspell.
Mountain Giant going to be trading. The Mana Cyclone comes in, like you were talking about, just trying to develop anything here. Ray of Frost onto his own minion.
Yeah, I imagine this is to create board space for Celiacs.
Yep.
Unity, precision, perfection.
Does come in, brings him up to 11 health, and he knows that that is not going to be enough to save him.
Yep.
As our TechnoGoose is going to go down, and fluourine now with the ability, based on specialist mode, guys, to go into his mage tech deck. He's going to be able to utilize that one in order to make this matchup even better for him. So that was certainly a game that TechnoGoose did not want to lose.
Be one of those kids that played with those tech decks in your pencil
Damn
case.
right I did. I could do ollies. I could do ollies on my tech deck, man. I was really good at tech decking.
Damn, I bet you were popular.
I was a tech deckist. Yeah. And I also played Pokemon in high school, so I was just the coolest kid.
Oh my goodness,
the coolest
you are the
kid.
package.
Yeah, man. I had so many friends, and then I started rollerblading as well. I was an avid rollerblader. So yeah, ladies, step aside, please. I need to get to class. Was probably the most said line by Max when he was in high school. Not to mention my physique. Certainly had a donut physique. Really did nail that one as well. As we move in to game number 2. That's enough about me and how incredibly handsome and attractive I was in high school.
Peaked too early, it seems.
Yeah, exactly right. As we're going to see that tech in the opening hand here from fluourine. Does have Stargazer Luna as well as the Questing Adventurer. That feels like a pretty good draw.
Yeah, this hand honestly looks great from fluourine.
And in any other matchup, TechnoGoose would be super psyched about having Mountain Giant Conjurer's Calling in the opening hand. This one, not so much.
Nope. Yeah, it's unfortunately a little bit too slow.
Yeah. Mirror Image drawn, Frost Nova early, doesn't have anything to do as TechnoGoose once again without the coin. It's just not his day, is it?
That's how it be sometimes.
Yeah, that is how it be.
Even when they say it isn't.
I think it's time to turn off the stream, Navi. You get this moment, it's time to turn off the stream.
Yep.
Otherwise, we might have some TOS issues.
See you guys tomorrow.
Yeah, see you guys tomorrow. Hope you enjoyed the stream. You guys play pinball with yourselves. I'll see you tomorrow. That would be the way.
Players just passing back and forth and a lot going on early. The images coming down early, honestly, a bit surprising. Perhaps TechnoGoose wants to play the bananas on them after he plays his banana for you, and so that they effectively have charge.
Yep. And I mean, of course, fluorine's not going to be looking at these with any real intent to take them down. Nope. There are some really cool plays with questing and elemental evocation and the coin and mana cyclone. If the mana cyclone is drawn here from fluorine, is of course just going to ping, as Banana Buffoon, like you were talking about, is of course going to be coming down here. The only thing that TechnoGoose could do at that particular stage, unless he wanted to Frost Nova nothing.
Fluorine had the option to coin out Stargazer Luna the previous turn, knowing that, again, it was impossible for TechnoGoose to clear. I'm a little bit surprised he didn't do that, but without a like the Frost Nova was at the time the far right cards are in his hand, so perhaps that's why he chose not to go with it.
Yeah, that was a weird thought of
it was so effective for him the previous game, so kind of surprised he didn't go for it.
Yeah, elemental evocation into Mountain Giant, but that's 4 mana, so not going to be able to do that one.
Not quite.
I mean, you read the card, and you're like, it reduces it by 2 though, guys. Fortunately, it's Mountain Giant.
Yeah, Coin Giant, just Coin Giant.
Just Coin Giant. That's my favorite play on turn 4.
Every time I read that, I just die a little bit inside.
I know. It's beautiful. All right. Well, I mean, we're taking some time. I think throwing out the Stargazer Luna makes some sense here. Even the questing and then throwing just a whole lot of cards in there just to create a threat. But Stargazer just comes down.
Yeah, fluourine knows that this Luna can be cleared by TechnoGoose, but just forces a little bit of an inefficient turn from TechnoGoose, and then makes maybe the Giant play a little bit stronger the following turn.
Yep. Just having something that needs to be removed, right, when you've got a lot of other options here in your deck, in your hand, sorry, as fluourine. And I mean, bananas could mean that the Banana Buffoon is more difficult to remove and things like that. You can actually keep all 3 of these minions on the board and clear out the Stargazer Luna.
Yep. TechnoGoose looks like he's going for that.
Actually, I thought he was going to face there for a second.
That would be incredibly brave.
Yeah. She's going to ping face there as well. So both bananas, that's going to empty the hand a little bit here of TechnoGoose. Of course, he's not sitting on anything that really cares about that. However, as this game rolls on, that hand size is going to become something that we're going to be looking at more and more. And we can see fluourine has actually done a decent job keeping his at a nice spot.
And with his play to hold the coin on turn 2, I'd be very surprised if we didn't see the giant come down this turn.
Yep, and it does. It is going to be the Elemental Evocation Giant coming in there. Works a little bit better than Coin Giant.
TechnoGoose, with obviously we talked about no mage board either, so he doesn't have to worry about the potential of a Snap Freeze, for example, clearing this giant, and he can kind of just play with reckless abandon.
Yeah. What is going to be the response?
What to do? What to do?
Yeah,
Can he kill this, even if he has to throw everything into it?
Yeah, so obviously
He can Conjurer's Calling it. That'll kill it.
it will kill it. The only play that TechnoGoose would have available to him is obviously like a Ray of Frost play where he has to sink 2 copies of Ray of Frost into this Giant dealing 4 damage, and then obviously the other 4 damage from his Banana Rune, but that's not available to him right now, and instead Conjuring.
Yeah, it's just going to conjure his 3-cost minion. Gets an Edwin.
Yeah, it's just, why is this card so broken, guys? It's just a 3
I know, it's so silly. I don't know why people are complaining.
I don't understand either.
I don't know how it's also in like every player's winning deck every year as far as the championship is concerned.
Give me a quest.
Questing Adventurer coming down. And now we're going to run some shenanigans.
Yep. And this is looking very, very bad for TechnoGoose right now.
Oh my goodness. It gets double taunts as well.
Yep, that Questing Adventure feeling really cozy right now.
Oh yeah, Fluourine feeling also pretty cozy as he once again assumes gamer position.
Very, very confident.
Yeah, absolutely. That's when you know he's like, I'm a gamer again, don't worry. He had a bit of a rough time last 2 games against Reconnect, and after that one he knows that the heart of the cards are once again in his favor. Frostnova is going to come down, that is going to bide some time here by TechnoGoose, and he's by all means not out of it just yet. But after getting that RNG in a great position and not really having a way to deal with these units, makes things real tough. Market Intellect is just going to continue generating so much value.
I honestly think at this point maybe the only way Fluourine loses is if he plays a True Drop and gives TechnoGoose the out to conjure it and summon a Doomsayer, effectively clearing his board. So
yeah,
I think as long as Fluourine respects that, maybe, and also doesn't allow TechnoGoose maybe a way back to the game with Xi'an, for example, I think he's just going to be able to either take favorable trades as he likes for the rest of the game and then just push face.
Well, we're representing a hell of a lot of damage on this board currently.
Yep.
And there is definitely lethal opportunities here for Fluourine as we move into the next turn. So now going to once again, Conjurer's Calling, no taunts available here on TechnoGoose's side, and he's really running out of gas. Does have another Conjurer's in hand, so
I'm not exactly sure what he's looking for with his Conjurer's play. Just, I guess, trying to develop as much stats as possible. But is that really, really winning right now?
And the Ray of Frost question is also another really tough one. Like, what do you use Ray of Frost on at this point in time? And the Questing Adventurer seems to be the option, right? You're looking at the hand, you're thinking 6 cards, you're thinking a lot of cards that should be playable next turn.
Yeah, this Questing can work.
Yeah. However, this is going to be the poor man's Frostnova coming in from TechnoGoose.
Yep,
as he,
Frostnova.
Yep, the 4 mana Frostnova. 4 mana costs 4 cards Frostnova. And
quite inefficient.
Yeah. You don't need to be a rocket surgeon to figure that one out.
Don't.
What are we even pinging? What are we doing here? Conjurer's Calling on another 3 mana card.
Pretty lackluster outcomes.
Yeah.
Right now.
TechnoGoose is obviously scrounging for scraps. And a whole bunch of dead cards in his hand too. The Mirror Image not going to really be offering too much defense. However, I mean, Fluourine does have, 4 frozen minions, so isn't going to be offering any damage to face yet.
Yeah, but Fluourine is just spoiled for options right now. The double Frostnova, he should be feeling very, very comfortable here that he's going to find a way to close this game out.
Well, that is 2 1-mana spells as well. Sea Giant comes down for free. And one thing that Mage does not have, it is AoE clear with this particular archetype. And yeah, you were talking about bevies of different options here. Another Frostnova comes down, and the Ray of Frost to clear out. The Sorcerer's Apprentice, which was the only real threat being represented.
Okay, there's the Siege from TechnoGoose. He would have liked to see that maybe a tiny bit earlier.
Yep.
After he threw away those Conjurers.
Well, he does have 1.
He does have 1 remaining, that is correct. Unfortunately, no way to stop the onslaught from Fluourine, though.
Yeah, where's his poor man's Frostnova now?
Yeah.
Is the question.
I think he'd even take a Chrono Call at this point.
Yep. In fact, anything. And it has absolutely no way to generate any value here either. Is the Conjurer's Calling going to be used on the questing adventurer?
Yeah, defensively, hate to see
Yeah,
that.
if there's any way to represent how this game has been going. And I think looking for the ping target and realizing that can I
doesn't really
ping
matter.
everything? Can I ping everything 800 times? Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's so much health representing. I think you'd run to the end of the rope by the time you've actually like clicked on everything. You know,
This is not Raza Priest.
yeah, I was
sorry.
gonna say. I feel like we've gone back a year or two, and Raza Priest is back, and we're just trying our very best to hero power as many
Fluorine
times as
taking off the
possible.
headset, that is going to be it.
Yeah.
Honestly, super solid play from Fluorine that set.
Yeah, really nicely done. And in fact, I think that he had some iffy turns in the first series, and that was pretty clean the whole way through. But picking up the coin in both games, TechnoGoose falling to the hands of RNG in a lot of cases. As far as, I mean, what Fluorine was able to pick up, I think TechnoGoose, I mean, it had a few options there and had a few moments, especially in the first game, where he had some opportunities. But Fluorine keeping a stable head on his shoulders this time.
Yeah, I mean, Fluorine, you can only play with what you're given. Fluorine given Stargaze Luna 2 games in a row, and he really made the most of it.
Yeah, really nicely done. So congratulations to Fluorine. He was impressive in the APAC qualifier and continues to be impressive here.
Yeah.
As he fell to reconnect in our first game, but really did come back in this Mage Mirror that we know can be so notorious.
Yeah, he
It's a roughie.
He looked a lot more confident, honestly, in that matchup, and that's one of the matchups a little bit more difficult to pilot. So I think if he can keep up that standard of play, I wouldn't be surprised if he takes it out.
Yep, and we'll have to check in with the standings tomorrow to see how the rest of the games go today. Of course, there's a few games that are done off stream and a few games that are done with good old Dr. J and Rapid. And we'll see exactly how it is all going to shape out, and we'll check out our top 4 as we move towards the knockout stage as well. It's going to be pretty exciting here, and I'm looking forward to seeing what we're going to have in the final as far as our matchup is concerned. If you could choose a matchup that you want to be casting that isn't Warrior versus Warrior, what would it be?
I think I would like to see Rogue versus Mage. I just think that the way they match up, I mean, from a macro sense, it plays out the same a lot, but from a micro sense at least, there's a lot of different stuff going on, and it feels like it's such a tight window for the Rogue to get that lethal, and the Mage is doing its absolute, just scrambling as best as it can to try and avoid that. So I really like, it really forces the Rogue to make the most of their resources because every point of damage matters.
Well, it could be Fluorine versus Terrence M, which could be a really exciting matchup, just in general as far as the players are concerned. And that would give us that Mage versus Rogue.
Yeah, we saw that matchup yesterday, Terrence versus Akamaker, and Terrence played it pretty well.
Yeah, exactly right. And was actually able to demolish that one pretty nicely towards the end. I mean, the last game was really good. Akamaker actually being able to pick up 1 in that series has had an unfortunate tournament so far. It's had a few things not necessarily go his way.
Yeah.
And, we're talking about Heart of the Cards. Reconnect has them. Akamaker has not, as things have been going on. But
can't help feel for him.
Yeah, it's a little bit unfortunate. But ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for Hearthstone for today on the main stage. I hope you have enjoyed the matches, and I hope that you are going to be tuning in tomorrow as we get into finals territory. Knockout phase is going to be on us, so we'll see you then.